So
Well, my
basically,
tangent is over because she paused me, but that's all right. She had
I didn't
technical
pause you. I stopped it
difficulties.
completely. So this is they don't know about that tangent.
Oh, we
I
started
started,
from the beginning?
yeah, because the thing messed up and it didn't want it to pause.
Oh. So now it's a mystery to them what I would have said.
That's normal for us. So don't even like, yeah, no,
Welcome to the land of the living.
yes. So basically, what we said was we're tired. Sheila out of shape. And what I was gonna say was that's the point of this podcast. We're supposed to get in shape by talking and being holding each other accountable for stuff.
I'm gonna be holding myself accountable to the day I'm dead. Lord.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway,
Ah, I need to
so
start finding the senior citizens life. Ooh.
uh-huh. Anyway, so
What?
Sheila's
Technically, we're seniors once in 5 years. You get senior discounts at 50.
that's not what I was talking about. I was trying to say something completely different and not talk about how we're
Hmm.
gonna be seniors. Shut up. She does this to herself, people. That she goes by the technical terms and does it to herself, and then cries about it, and then gets mad at me when I tell her to shut up and stop thinking about it like that. Because I can honestly say, like we were saying before on her tangent that y'all didn't hear, was people try to say 50 is the new 20. I said it's a bold faced lie. I could say 50 is the new 40. I'll give it that much, but not no damn 20. But it's like it's all about how you feel at your age. I am going on the 45 and fabulous, and I'm going to be 45 until I'm 50 because it's just easier to
45 and
remember.
alive. I'll be 45 and alive.
Yeah,
God willing.
Sheila's just in this mood today because she hurt. Because she decided to do a 5K. What was it, 5K yesterday?
I did a 5K after volunteering for a few hours with children and parents.
Right. So Sheila worked out yesterday a lot, and so Sheila is feeling it today. So when she's feeling it that much, her brain gets
Was it
into a
yesterday?
funky attitude.
Because I get mad at myself because folks understand I had stamina before. And I personally, I'm mad at myself, not anybody else. So please don't take any offense. I am mad at me because I have let me go. And it's
hmm
like she said, the whole purpose of us trying to keep ourselves accountable. So I accountably tell you folks, I've let myself.
Okay. Un momento, por favor. Okay.
Was that a full restart?
No,
Oh,
no, that was just a pause.
cool.
No, the first time was technical difficulty because my computer wanted to act up and act the fool. Like I would have called you minutes earlier, but it didn't want it shut itself down. It had to restart, had to do a bunch of other stuff, and it's like things. Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm looking at myself.
Why? Okay, let me frame that. Why are you looking at yourself like that?
Ugh. Well, one, I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, well, yeah.
And two, I was just making sure I was seen.
Okay. Yes, you're seeing you're not dark. I would have told you.
Mm,
I said I would have
I know.
told you.
I know.
No, for once your lighting is actually perfect.
Hmm, cool. I have dim light on.
I know, but it's like you're actually illuminated and you look nice, and it's like, ooh,
Oh.
as she yawns.
This is what, just so you folks know, this is what it means to have a friend because they'll lie to you and tell you look good when you know damn well you don't.
I said your
Bless
lighting
you.
look good. There's a difference,
Oh,
and you
bless,
know this.
bless you.
You stupid.
True. Mm.
I didn't say you look like a hobbit under a bridge. I said you look good.
I would be okay with a Hobbit, though. I have no issues with a Hobbit.
Oh yeah.
I quite like Hobbit holes.
So
uh,
okay. So what was I gonna say? So she did the
Hello,
5K.
welcome to Godly Spiritual Ladies.
Well, that too. But hello, she did the 5K yesterday and she feels bad. I have been burnt out and depressed and trying to get stuff out that Kim shoved me out the house and took me on a date because I was like flipping the fuck out. No, that's the only way I can describe that. And then,
No, no. Like I said, I have a sibling that's very similar to you, so trust me, I quite understand.
oh yeah, so not as bad as Lloyd. Not as bad. Definitely not as bad. Because I
He's
know
getting
his is
better.
like, yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
why am I lying? He has his moments.
He's maintaining.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I am so sorry, people.
well, it is okay. Also, this is not a normal day to record. It's late. And I'm sorry that y'all got the podcast a week late because I forgot to upload it last week and I only uploaded it yesterday. I said what I said, and the sister is flipping out and getting tired, and it's a lot. I got two
Listen,
jobs. I got a thing.
I have more than
And
two
so,
jobs, but listen. Our viewers, our listeners are quite aware that they will at least get one per month. That
oh
is
yeah,
the stipulation. The fact that you get more than one per month, that is a bonus. That is a blessing.
oh yeah.
Okay.
So what was I saying? Okay, one, check the nails out. Those are cute,
Yes, they are cute, actually.
and I even got a sparkly one on there. I was like,
I do
I
see
like
that
it.
one. I do see that one.
My makeup.
They're very.
This is called very fast.
This is your makeup. It's called your. This is your basic makeup.
Yeah, this is my
Your
base.
basic face.
Yeah, because I'm like, I went to go and said, okay, since I'm making a stay up, I put on a full face. I was gonna put the foundation and everything on, and then mommy got up, and uh, and then that went to okay, basic makeup, Gwendolyn. And here we go. How you doing? Cause I
Basic is
went,
always good.
yeah, cause I went to church today without any makeup on. I was like, I don't even feel like lipstick or nothing. I'm tired.
I mean, honestly, sometimes I mean the purpose of makeup is because you. It's that extra for you. It's not. It doesn't change who you are. It just
Yeah,
changes how you present yourself to the world.
exactly. And then I got sick this morning for no reason whatsoever, and no, I'm not pregnant because I threw up. And that's the first thing out your mouth every time. Yes, that's why I said that. No. Yeah, no, she wants to say something. So
I don't. I don't. I was having a conversation in my
I
own
know.
head. That's
I
all.
know. I know you having that conversation in your own head. For the people listening, she's making faces at me because she's
I
having a
mean,
conversation in her head because I told her I happened to get sick this morning out of randomness.
people. If she said she was queasy, if she said she couldn't keep food down,
I didn't eat any
if she
food.
said her lower back hurt, if she said that her chest was tender, if she said that she might have felt cramping, then I would have said my normal. You pregnant?
But you like to say that for anything I say when I don't feel well.
I know, because I know you're always gonna tell me no.
Yes, I know. That's why I said it.
You should know, you should know by now. I say that when I don't think that, truly.
Oh, I know.
But when I
I know.
think you really are, I'm gonna be quiet and be like,
Mhm.
because
No.
nobody would ever know if I was pregnant. Let me tell y'all that right now.
Until she's in
I'd
pain
be
and
off
then
that.
she's gonna complain to people. Just
I
not on
know.
this
Well, I'm
podcast.
on my way. On my way to the hospital is when I'd be saying, so surprise. Because I like to wear baggy clothes. I'm very secretive. And I'm quite aware that I am. Hmm.
You're just realizing this now.
Oh, no, no, no. I said I'm aware, but sometimes I surprise myself because
Oh,
you know
okay.
how you ever had where you know something about yourself, but sometimes you surprise yourself about yourself.
This was like our last conversation when you were surprised how Haitian you really are.
Yeah,
And I told you, I was like, you are Haitian.
I'm very West Indian.
Yes.
Um, I'm very West Indian. Like no, and I say that what I mean is what we both mean is I'm a let's say I'm a 1950s, 1960s, 1940s traditional Haitian.
Yeah, you're definitely. I wouldn't even say that far
I wouldn't be
back.
the new type of Haitian. I wouldn't be the new type of
No, no,
Haitian.
no, no. I said I wouldn't say that far back. I would say 1950s, yes, but I wouldn't go past the 50s because you're like
Mm.
women should. No, no, no. Really, the reason I say that is you're like women should have power and be educated
Oh
and do
yeah, yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah, she's got a point. She's got a point. Mhm.
yeah, the further back you go, the less that is, and you're like, oh no, I'm progressive in that part. The rest of it, I'm not progressive in, but that part I'm progressive in.
Yes, very much so. And that's just because for those who don't know, I am a very solitary type person,
Hmm.
very independent type person, which is not always a good thing. That's meaning I always struggle on my own on purpose. Yeah, so that's not always a popular thing. I'm I like to do. I carry my own burdens a lot, so that's not a popular thing to do. Now, are you feeling better?
Oh yeah, I felt better. I had some gas X and some stuff, and I don't know what. You know how I
Could have
think
been something you ate.
it had to be because the only thing in my stomach was my medicine, and it just didn't agree with me. It said no, expel.
Right. Sometimes that can happen. It could be you could have smelt something wrong. You could have eaten something. The water you may have drank with your medication might not have been that good. Um, any number of things could have affected your tummy to say, yeah.
Yeah. So it was just one of them things, and then we went to church. Church was good. I'm just tired.
Mm,
It's like school. You know how it is. It's like you're so busy, but the work is getting
mm.
done.
Yes, but then you still wonder where the hell is your bed.
Yes, and your time and your stuff like that. Because I'm like, I.
And you
Re-
can't sleep when you want to sleep.
oh yes. Like I reduced down to three things. This is how my depression was going. Either I was asleep, I'm drinking, or I was shopping. Said new clothes. You know, one,
Retail therapy is always nice though.
retail therapy is always nice. One, I needed the new clothes
On a
because
budget.
of, oh,
Like
I was at Shein
I said, on a budget.
budget. I'm still me. I'm not stupid. No. And then I was like, yes. And I was on clearance sections and stuff. And it's like, yes. But the only problem that I had is I have to have time to clear out the old clothes to throw them away so I can have space in there for the new clothes. You have a house.
That still don't mean nothing. My girlfriend, one of my other girlfriends was here yesterday and then she was like, you fine, Sheila. And then she walked in the house, she goes, oh, you really did let it go. I said, I said, you thought I was kidding when I said I just throw
Hmm.
it to one side and keep it going. When
Oh
I'm in the
yeah.
mood, I'm in the mood.
Oh
But
no. This is the only time I miss maniac. That's not mania moments. When I'm in
yes,
mania and I start cleaning and everything's in perfect order and it looks like a magazine. And I was like, no, I'm in depressive mode where I don't feel like cleaning and I just move it to I can have a space to walk.
right, right, right. It's one of those where you just like, see, and the thing is, we are very good examples of two opposite types. Um, where I have a desire in this head to do something, but the momentum is not there. And because I'm not allowing myself to fulfill what's in here. whereas she has so much at the same time, like her personages, like you, for those who are like Gwen, who are responsible for others on top of more than herself, right? I am responsible for none but but Sheila. Gwen is responsible for more than just Gwen because she is signed up and taken on that position. I refuse to take on any of those positions. And so we're on the opposite spectrum on those things.
Oh yeah.
And because of that, sometimes we both, it's funny because we're both on the opposite turn, but sometimes we both forget ourselves
Oh
in the
yeah.
mix.
Hmm.
So,
And that's where the friendship intersects and crosses like that, and we're right there in the middle.
because we would understand the feeling because even though we have different journeys that we're on, we understand the core.
Yeah.
Core issue is ourselves. If you
Hmm.
cannot love yourself enough to do certain things for yourself and to get selfishly, some people will say it's selfish, but honestly, I think it's not. That's why a lot of people talk about self care because people are starting to realize that if you cannot care for yourself, you're not good to nobody.
Yep. Pretty much. And I was like,
Which is
I'm.
why her man took her out because he was like, I need his. He cared for himself enough to take care of his wife. Why? Because when she's not in nice Gwen mode or calm Gwen mode, his life is not good.
I am not that
He
mean
not
to
a
my
stupid
husband.
man.
He's
It's
definitely
not
not a
about
stupid
being
man.
mean. It's
Definitely not a stupid man.
it's not about being mean because you know how you are and you know how we as women are as well. When we're not in a happy place or when we're not in a quote unquote sane way, we really not the people that people are normally used to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. When you know your significant other or your friend or your family member is not themselves, quote unquote, they're not the kind of people you want to really be hanging out with because you be kind of like walking on eggshells.
Oh yeah. He was doing
And
that, and
that's
I'm
just
like,
not good.
yeah.
That's
He
not good for
starts.
your personal psyche. You be like, nah, I need to do something about this.
Yeah. He
So
did
he ain't
that.
crazy. He's like, let me go take care of her. Let her get back somewhat into herself so that I don't have to be breaking no eggs.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's a man who understands, okay, look, I need my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's like when people know who are around you realize, you know, when they're always around you and they realize you're not yourself. What can I do to help you? How can I help you help yourself? And that's the truth. And that's the beauty of life, people. So, like, that's why I said one of the things I love about this mission, this group, this organization, Godly Spiritual Ladies, even though we are two ladies, we talk to everyone.
Oh yeah.
We are out here for the multitude, male, female, child, whatever. We
Hmm.
do not care about your personal religious affiliation.
No.
We don't care about your race, your ethnicity, your gender, your identity. We don't care. If you
No.
come here with respect and an open mind, come through.
Yeah. Pretty much. Okay. So I got as for stats, I don't have any because they're still the same.
Lost 2 pounds. That's it.
Oh, yay. It's better than nothing. Shut it up.
Fine. Yay.
It went down, not up. That's the thing that we have to see. You have to remember that.
True. But I keep telling myself, why is it not under 230 yet?
Because you've only had one day of backbreaking work and you need more than one day.
No, no. See, I need to continue slowly building up that stamina.
But
Yesterday was
but
just
but that's but that's what I mean. You went from 3,000 steps to 18,500.
19,000. I ended up doing way more than I should have.
Oh, I
And I
didn't see
knew
that
what my plan was.
the last time I looked it was 18.5, so I didn't know,
Girl,
you know.
viewers, folks, Gwen. She's aware of what I said. We were there. I didn't sleep because I didn't really properly sleep. That's number one. Because I was worried about being late, which we ended up because I wanted to catch the train, but we ended up not catching the train. We ended up having to drive. Okay, fine. We had to drive. Thankfully, because we were there so bloody early, we were able to find good parking. This was in DC.
Yeah.
Then I'm an introvert. Keep this understandable. I'm an introvert, but I have extrovert tendencies when I got to turn that sucker on. So, of course, when I got there, it's my first time doing the kids run. Couldn't figure out what the hell is going on. Finally found who the hell the director was. It's 8 something in the morning. It is freezing. It is cold, and your girl is not wearing the proper clothes. Okay, I got leggings on only because I expected the weather to get a little bit hotter, and I expect to be doing a lot more walking. Two, realize my sneakers are not the sneakers that one should really wear for hours of a day. Two, three, my she fit bra, I had that sucker way up there, pinching on a nerve. Oh my Lord. And I had it on all day. I had a cup of tea, a croissant with some ham in it. That was it. Then, then the weather starts to, I get put in charge. Don't ask me how that happened. Probably because I was asking the director way too many damn questions. And I think he was trying to get back at me. That could be it. Um, but I'm not a fan of not having direction, especially when there's a job to do. It's like,
Oh yeah.
give me direction. Tell me what must be done. I don't like to just stand around doing nothing. And when you tell me, oh, just hang around to do what? That don't work for Sheila. So when he tells me to help with the starting line and he's going to send people over, stop them, make sure when we start ready, count three, halfway over, send. I did not realize I'd be the one stuck doing this for 7 races. So also having to make sure and cheer them up because you know me, I don't like idle work. Again, the whole purpose of if you will volunteer to me, this is my work ethic, people. If you are supposed to volunteer and provide direction and stuff, I don't see a point of a dry volunteer. If you are there to help ignite and engineer the children and their parents, it is early in the morning, it is freaking cold. These poor kiddies are out here looking at you going, So what am I going to do? I'm going to excite the children and their parents. I said, all right, kids, the right parents, guardians, let's get ready. So Mary Poppins came out. Okay, on acid. That's what came out. And then when the guy, the DJ, whatever, he was like, the announcer, he was all right, let's do bending stretches. And so we started to do karaoke and all that. Well, not karaoke, we started doing cardio. I've got my mother on video from my job doing the Macarena. And she, of course, being my mama, is overly dressed. When I say overly dressed, this
She's
lady
dressed
looks
like
like an
mom.
Eskimo.
She's dressed
Yes,
like mom.
she looked like an Eskimo, but she out here doing the Macarena. Okay, and of course I videotaped that. Oh
Oh, of
Lord,
course.
oh my God, people do not understand. But for hours, we didn't leave DC until 3:30. Mind you, I've
Yeah.
been there since 7
Yeah, there was no way we would have
50
did this yesterday. You
to
came
seven
home and
fifty. Just
fine.
on my feet, people, not sitting. So for all that hours, I was up. I was moving. My poor legs were moving. I was stretching, dancing, bending, moving. Yay, kids, do this, that, for 7 races. Then I had to go do my own 5K after that. When I got in the car finally, the pain. I tried to take a bite of my sandwich, people. A bite of my sandwich. My stomach was nauseous. My head started to hurt. My eyes were starting to bulge at the back of my head. My leg was throbbing. We finally make it into the house. I had to crawl my 44-year-old self to the house. Mama's looking at me going, you all right? Like, no, lady, spent most of your time at the finish line handing out little things while I was dancing. I was moving, running after children. Don't go past this line. Don't go past me. Watch it. Go this way. Go that way. You stood there like a smart one.
That's only because you have never, ever, ever been able to stay the fuck still. This is why you have so much to do at work. This is why. This is also why we call you boss lady, and we end up doing what you want to do because two things are going to happen. One, we're going to move and do stuff, and it's going to be fun. Two, we will not be bored.
But we definitely gonna be dead by the time we get back.
Exactly, and we usually are, and get up and do it again the next day. Or
Oh,
we tell Sheila to
and
shut
I
up.
had to take ibuprofen. I had to have 800 milligram ibuprofen, people.
Oh yes, I believe you. No,
It was the only way to stop the inflammation.
yeah,
Oh,
and
and my
and
head, my heart, my chest pain. Oh, Jesus.
mhm.
So
Oh,
yes, I must slowly work my way back
back
into
up to that.
shape.
Oh yeah, and then you said the same thing to me when I was when I started putting up them numbers, running around, going to work and stuff, and things, and talking about the sisters coming home tired. It's like, yo, I love and hate the New York City subway system only because why is there so many damn steps? If you go down them, you gotta come up them. You gotta go across. You gotta go back down to get on the train to go back up and go up flights. Not one flight, not a couple of steps, flights. Now these do
Mm,
not beat DC steps. DC steps is ridiculous because you look up and you go like, what the f? Why am I going in a straight line? That's what
yep,
it looked like. I will never walk up
yep.
steps
Well,
again unless
you
I have
know,
to.
Wheaton Metro. Thankfully, we use the escalator.
Oh, I'm not walking up those steps. I don't care. It doesn't matter how. What was the thing? It doesn't matter how far I walk. I will walk far forever, but up a staircase, no, that is illegal. That is
But I
mean.
have seen people do it.
I
I have
seen people
walked
do
past
it.
people. I have moved, not walked past. I have moved aside, folks. I will go down,
Oh, go
right?
down. That's no problem. It's the going up part.
But climbing that mountain, right?
Oh, look.
Listen,
You think?
folks, y'all don't know that I fell off a mountain. Well, I didn't fall off. I fell down a mountain. Didn't go down that far because it was really more of a hill. But I felt the pain of my own family. My family laughed at me, didn't pick me up. Thankfully, there were some really hunky Germans that did. But I'm just saying,
No, I was
it's
saying.
not fun
No,
to
I was
walk up a
saying with
mountain.
with the stairs is hilarious. Even my kids know that I will take the elevator up, but I walk down the stairs because they look for me. It's like, okay, we're going to the elevator. No, to press the button. I was like, I ain't walking up these stairs unless this elevator is broken. And if then we're gonna have the meeting in the hallway. My office is on the fifth floor.
Yeah, I know what you mean, girl.
I'm like,
You
no.
forget, I did live in an apartment complex for 10 years on the fourth floor.
I remember them days. Oh Lord. After a long
And
day
this
of
is
walking with you.
and this is one of the reasons why one of my specifications when I was buying my house, my first house, the one I'm in now. Not like I have two houses. But when I bought this house, when I was looking for a house, I refused to, I didn't want a lot of steps. My real estate agent, she had me with a bunch of different realtors who were taking me out in different places. And a lot of times the houses they showed me had lots of steps. I had a contract on one that had like double floors. And I was just like, really wasn't looking for stairs. But you know, I really wasn't looking for stairs. And
Oh
this is
no.
sad because I'm not that old, but I truly did not want a lot of steps.
No. I look. Remember, I lived in the third floor walk up before this place, and I'm like,
Mhm.
now I'm in this place. I'm like, do I really need a second floor? Really, you don't. You could have everything right
No.
here.
Literally, when I used to live in Florida, we used to well, we did have a house in Florida, but the house in Florida still had everything on the first floor. There was a backside to it, but we had someone else renting that backside. It's kind of like a duplex, not a
Mhm.
duplex, but a back to backer. Um, but what I loved were the ranch houses,
Mhm.
because everything was just on one level.
Yeah, I'm starting to see those, and I'm like, those are starting to make sense because I would die if I have to live in a brownstone right now. Yeah, brownstones are typically 4 floors plus a basement. I'm like, I wouldn't go past the second floor.
See, I like Brooklyn brown. I like Brooklyn brownstones where you only have one floor to yourself, like the ones that are split for apartments.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I would only go up one flight of steps. It'd be like my house on Green Avenue. We only had to go up the one flight, and then we never went up to the other two because those were somebody else's places.
You know what's funny though? My very first, like when I used to live on East 34th Street, it never seemed odd to me because it was my reality of having the bathroom outside the apartment.
Because that was your reality at the time, and that's what it was.
But you know, the sad part is, if the landlord had had some sense, I would hope now that they renovated that because they could have just, because it was the bathroom was literally on the opposite outside of the apartment in a hallway that took you to the backyard. But it's technically the kitchen was on the opposite wall. If they had renovated that to open it up where the door was actually in the bathroom, was in the kitchen, that'd have made so much sense. It would have.
Yes, and that's Sheila's brain going on a tangent to a memory that
Sorry.
popped out in her head. That made no sense to nothing that we was talking about. But it just happened to be there, and she just said, "I'm gonna take this flight. Oh, wait a minute, we could go this way. Let's go this way and see what's going down this road." And this road said, "We're gonna go on the weirdest tangent on the face of the planet," which is mainly this show. We rant and we have tangents.
I'm so sorry, folks. My brain. I'm gonna be one of those. If the Lord lets me live to 80 something or 90 something, I'm gonna be one of those old aunties that just sitting there randomly talking about shit.
Oh yeah, pretty much. I'm like, I've got that now.
You know, baby, back in my day. Oh
Okay,
my
what was
God.
it? I was
I
gonna say
need
something else.
some
Okay. Now, oh, I had good news. Right. So, what had happened was, right? This is talking about my internship. So, I remember I was telling you we went to play Beat the Bomb. Okay. So, what happened was that it was on my suggestion that we went to do this to play Beat the Bomb because my supervisor was trying to do an activity with all the counselors and everybody together. So it went over like gangbusters. Everybody had a good time. They had fun. I got accolades for it. I was like, yay. Because what happened was I had a meeting with my supervisor and my field liaison, the guy that's grading me. So that happened, and she's like, oh, yeah, Gwen did this and Gwen did that. I was like, but the best part of it was she tricked me. I was about to cry. Let me explain. She said I got in trouble. I said, what I do? After all the accolades, she's like, oh, Gwen got us in trouble. I said, what I do? I didn't do nothing. No. What happens is my kids, right, that I'm counseling, I started the process of termination. Meaning I had to tell them I'm leaving because you don't want to just come up and say, deuces, I'm out. That's rude. And plus, it's a kid and it's a therapeutic thing, and this is like you start the process. So I told them, and they got mad at me. It's like, why are you leaving? And I had to explain to him, I'm only a student. I'm not full time yet. And your counselor is coming back. She only went to have a baby. They said, but you can stay 2. You can have 2 of you. I was like,
Which is
thank you,
true. It can't be done.
which is true, which can be done. But that whole saying, they went and told my supervisor. Not telling me they went down there on their own accord. I didn't tell them to do this or nothing because I'm like, they did what? Me with tears in my eyes. They like me. So more than one. So more than one. I seriously teared up. I was like, "Yo, more than one kid, not just one kid. More than one kid went down there." And I was just like, in my head, I was like, "This is God telling me
Well,
you're in
I
the
was
right
gonna tell
spot."
you that that you're doing the right thing. And I'm giving you claps and kudos all as you can see.
Mhm.
That you're making a difference, even if you don't think that you are, or when you have those days of anxiety, or you have those moments of, am I doing this right, or am I in the right place? You can always look back at this
Mhm.
memory, like save it in your Rolodex of memories, and pull it out and state, this is the day that you realize you were appreciated for the effort you make.
Yeah.
Like roll it up in a jar, and keep that jar, memory jar.
Yeah. I was like, cause I was all teary eyed, cause I thought I got in trouble. I was like, "What I do?" And I was like, "That was so cool," and I was so
That just
happy.
says you were loved.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, I'm in the right position, and this is what I'm meant to do." Cause I've been trying to go. I've been going back and forth with, should I switch to adults? Should I stay with kids? But counseling is what I should do. So I think I'm going to stay with kids. It's just also wherever.
Children are
Mhm.
the best place to start. We remember what it's like to be teenagers
Yeah.
vaguely, but we still to be teenagers. It's such an impressionable time when you're trying to leave childhood and maneuver your way to adulthood.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. And it was funny because I told that to Charmin. She's like, "No, that's good. I can see you there because you're great with kids, and you don't want to do adults. They're annoying." She's
right,
like,
because at that point we're all jaded.
"Oh yeah." She's like, It's so bad. She's like, "I'm through with adults. I'm not doing counseling no more. I'm gonna do um the other one. This thing. She's trying to get into the UN. She trying to
Oh,
go
oh,
places and do policy and shit. I'm like, go ahead. You could argue
so
somebody
work with
down.
adults who have power to destroy countries. All right, cool.
Yeah,
I don't I don't envy that position.
I don't either. I was like, go ahead. You passionate about this. I could see it in you. I could hear it in your voice. I'm like,
When you're
go.
passionate about something, go for the gusto. Because it's like when you talk about kids and whatnot and how adults are different. So I love my dramas.
Oh
If
yeah,
I could, if I were to have rewritten my life, or to decide to change my existence tomorrow, I would probably be working on working at a production company. As much as I love dramas, so
oh yeah.
writing and all that entertainment stuff. So
I can see that, and I can see you finishing that book finally with the rewrites.
so true. And also how dare I start writing another one? God help me. But anyway,
Because that's the way your brain that's the way your brain works. And eventually in one of these millennias, you will go back to that first book and you will redo it. But it's just not gonna be right now. So if you do the second book before you release it, let me read it. And I will give you honest feedback.
yes, yes, because
Because
I
you know
definitely
how
do
I do.
need to do
I'll
it.
be like, I got notes.
True, true. And I mean, and the thing is that one of the dramas that I'm watching, to relate back to what you're talking about with the children, and adults, something that is very passionate to me is because those who don't know me, Gwen will tell you that I'm a very morbid person sometimes.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And suicide is a topic that is hard for a lot of people to talk about, or to deal with. And there is this new show, um, that just came up, that I think is handling the writers, the actors, that they are handling, um, the topic very well, because they're not sugarcoating what can lead someone mentally to that direction.
One moment, please. So you were
So
talking about
with the
shows
show,
will break. Okay.
yeah, so with the show, right? It's called Tomorrow. And the premise is just all right. So, in a nutshell, not a nutshell, because I can never say anything in a nutshell, but the premise is basically you have these Grim Reapers that do different jobs. Now there is an organization, they're like a business, like a firm, right? So the Jade Emperor, who is a woman, or female, identifies as female, um, who has them in different job departments, right? The Grim Reapers. You have a set of Grim Reapers that are risk assessment management team. Basically, they try to help those who are in the process of who are on the verge of committing suicide, to not consider do suicide. And they show you all the graphic details that led people up to it. And it shows you the three people that are working in this department, how they are different in how they approach each case. It is so weird, but good at the same time to watch how actual people's issues, anxieties, pains, fears of living true to themselves without worrying about other people. Because I don't think a lot of people realize how hard it is when you have bottled yourself up and just try to survive every day. When you get on survival mode and you've stayed on survival mode and then you're ready to just crack, how difficult that is. Like you pull up with bullies, you pull up with molesters, child abusers, battery, okay, sexists, and all that stuff. And you finally break. You finally ready to break, and you figure, life is better without you in it. And the torment that they tell you, what happens when you commit suicide, and where you go, and the life that you end up the rest of your soul's remaining days or what it's doing after a suicide, living in regret. It's crazy. Or how some people chew you out for doing suicide or having committing suicide, and their dispassionate behavior, or how they just say, well, you could just get over it and just live your life. Literally all that in the first two episodes.
If we could get over it and just live our lives, I wouldn't have a job.
Oh
How much
Jesus. I mean,
anxiety and
yes,
depression I deal with these little kids.
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's so nice to see a show that really, there's a couple, because unfortunately these are all coming out of South Korea, right? And
Mhm.
South Korea, unfortunately, is one of the world's highest
Suicide
um,
rates.
suicide rate, with also one of the world's lowest birth rate. And they even discuss that in the first two episodes. Um, and to me, they've been pulling out a lot of shows recently discussing this, and the dealings or the difference of how you can really change or help change the directory of a youth's life
Mhm.
before they get to being an adult.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It is so important of how you shape that mind before you become an adult. Is spectacular. People don't understand how important it is for people who are educators, who are counselors, who are parents, who are guardians, who are just friends, family, people of caring. In one person's life could change worlds. It's the same sentiment in Oh, I was about to say a show that Gwen hasn't watched yet, so I know it would have been a spoiler, so never mind. But
So, cause I just saw the first episode of Bridgerton. So,
Picard,
oh okay. Don't worry, I'm
Picard.
eventually going to watch it, but it's probably going to be after I graduate, so I could actually
Okay,
sit.
so good. I can just give you the sentiment. So in
Right?
Picard
Yeah.
is similar. In Picard is similar. This second season, it's about self-discovery. They also are handling there's a sub story. There's actually a couple of sub stories about individual self-awareness, depression, and lots of cases of depression. That is something very deep in season two of Picard. They're dealing with a lot of depression going on here, and like multiple people. So it's like keeping track of who doing what when, but also how just the act of helping one person in there, because like this one person is going through counseling, but this one specific person who needs this counseling very much because of the anxiety that they're having about certain issues could lead to galactic ramifications for generations. And it just tells
Understandable.
you how important it is to really care about the people around you,
Hmm.
care about yourself more importantly, but
Yeah.
also don't turn a blind eye to somebody that may be crying out for help as well. Sometimes you can't help everybody because you really can't. You definitely got to take care of yourself. But if someone's crying out for help, don't be afraid to try to help them, or at least get those involved that can help them.
Hmm.
And that's what I've noticed weirdly in a lot of the shows I've been watching recently, which is good. But
Which is
I'm very perplexed that I keep finding this type of stuff.
which is good. It is something. It's something you need to do for yourself because you have a tendency to take care of people around you, and you are noticing that you're starting to let yourself go. And I think your TV show choices is God's way of telling you to get your butt in gear and to do the things that are not just mentally or physically hard, but to do the things that fulfilled you before, that filled you up, that filled your soul, that fed you. He is trying to feed you, and you're going, mm-mm, no. And he's like, stop it and just eat the food. Here's the airplane. I have to crack jokes because it's just me. But he's really
No,
doing it for
no,
you.
you're being honest, and I like that though. It's the truth though.
It's the truth though. It's the same way that I'm cracking under the pressure. It's like I'm realizing I can't do everything. And you'll be proud of me that I have really let go a lot of stuff. That Kim and Daddy do a lot more stuff now than I have because
Which is
I'm like,
wonderful.
I am actively looking for a home health aide. I just need to find my mom's insurance card. I've been doing it for a couple months now. It's been
I am beyond proud of you right now.
going through different avenues and stuff. But I
I
have to
am
find a
beyond proud of you right now.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying is the reason I made the thing before teasing you about being tired and sore. It's like that's what this program is for. It's to remind us of the things that we said to each other. We're just keeping us accountable to other people outside, and they listen for us to do this. Like I gave this to a couple of friends of mine at school. We were doing on a project, the group project that I liked, not the other one, because it's just the one person, and
Say no more.
I'm not
Say
talking
no
about
more.
that. Right.
Say no
So
more. I understand.
yes, and so I did this, and they're like, "You are stupid," because they listened to it in the good way, in
Oh,
the good way, in the good way. He's like, "Y'all are funny." I was like, "We're not trying to be. This is just us." And I looked at
the
the whole
reality of
Spotify.
it all.
Yeah, we are funny, but I looked at the whole Spotify thing, and we was like, 5 things on one episode. Where did that come from? Almost like 5 listens. Oh, people listen to us. And then I looked at the other numbers. I was like, add this up, we doing pretty good.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like even if it's just one person, that one person could be showing it to other people,
Mhm.
um, and viewing in different sections. And it's just like, to me, it's just like, if we reach one person when they're down, one person when they're happy, and they could find something that resonates, we've done our mission. We've done what the task that God has us to do, and that's just being honest, finding the honesty within ourselves, you know,
Exactly.
and being truthful, good, bad, or ugly, you know. And as we get older, it is harder and harder sometimes to realize that you do need to let go, that you do need to make changes. Sometimes it's hard to come to a realization that, you know what, this might not be the path for me. You know what? I think I need to go find something else to do with my life. I'm still young ish. It's like I need a show that comes out that says 40 ish. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
This needs to be a show. Like I literally I'm preparing myself um, as a treasure to myself after classes are done in the next 8 weeks. I want to start watching 39, which is about a group of women, of three trios of friends who are on that age and going into 40. How to navigate, because there are a lot more shows now with women who are in their 40s, 50s, and whatnot,
Yes,
or
and I'm
Asian
like,
shows anyway. And
well,
love that.
American shows not too much, but they're dealing with older ideas.
Yeah.
You try it, but that's really on cable, not on main TV. You know.
Hmm. I'm loving all these Asian shows, girl, with all these grown ass women trying to live their life. Either one is so popular in the U.S. right now on Netflix. Love Marriage or something on Netflix. They're in like season 4 now.
Oh, okay.
I was like, a Korean drama? How many seasons? Are you
This
on it?
was
I was like,
that's
how
was
many seasons?
I was like,
Like,
you
people
said
are
4. I was
grown.
like, that's a lot. And she's
Right, for
trying
a
to find.
Korean drama, I normally don't see that many seasons. Like I
No,
don't
you
see that
don't.
many seasons for a Korean drama. Yeah. And but the topic, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to notice that when people want to see grown adults,
Mhm.
they may not be the same ethnicity as you, but the situations are similar.
Oh yeah.
Grown adults, male or female, going through situations. Because again,
Right.
things that happened when we were younger and how we dealing with them as we older.
That was like that other one that you got me to watch, Distinguished Gentleman, that I adored. Because it was like
Ah, that was the
everybody was in there. I
bomb.
was like, it was so good. I was like,
Yes, yes, yes. Grown. I don't know. For our viewers, I realize per my age, I love books that discuss people in my age range because it resonates. I get another 40-year-old woman. I can even relate to a 50-year-old woman ish. I can relate to situations when I'm in this age range. But when I read a story and it's talking about some 19-year-old girl, I'm sitting there going, that girl is dumb as a rocks.
oh
Why is
yes.
she doing those things? Because I'm thinking to myself, she has yet to live. She
Mhm.
hasn't, she doesn't have enough experience in that situation. This is why she's responding this way. Because I'm reading this going, I was an idiot child myself. I thought I knew nothing.
Oh yeah. It's
I
so
knew
true,
nothing.
and it makes you revisit old stories and old books, and you're like, wow, were we this dumb? It's like, yes, yes, we were.
Yeah. It's like, where were the adults in my life that could have told me the truth? It's like, for some reason, something that which is why I'm not very kid glovish with the teenagers in my existence, because for me, it didn't help when you have adults or parents or guardians that try to sugarcoat or dramatize in like a fairy tale life, or shelter you from like reality. It's like, tell me, because I'm not going to learn. And there's so many things that I could have learned if I knew the facts. But people will always say, well, you're too young to understand. How about you try me? I have said stuff to my cousins, younger ones, or my godchildren, that they seem to have quite nicely understood, um in their, because when you put it in their subtext, like when you talk to a teenager,
Right.
not like a you giving them something that makes context for them to understand or comprehend,
Oh
then
yeah,
they're like,
no.
oh, relatable. There we go.
Oh, trust me, I understand that. I was being taught slang the other day in my session. They were trying to explain, do you know what this means? I'm like, no, I don't. My slang is much different than your slang. Your slang don't make no sense to me. And it's like, oh, that's what that means. Okay. I was like, I deal with literal babies. They're 10
Mm,
babies. Barely teenage,
mm.
barely 13.
But they're getting there, and it's like you at that point where you're just like, you this is like, let me tell you today what you might want to start thinking about tomorrow. If our parents or guardians or family relations could have explained early on responsibility, actual consequences, knowing how to be reliable, understanding what finance is and how important it's going to be. That's what I could have used growing up. Tell me
Oh,
how to do my finances.
now before we go and pray, because I say we need to pray because we're getting on tangents here. Let me tell you about a tangent that I was on. I told you this the other day, but I don't want to blow up people, so I'm gonna say this here. How is it that grown folk don't know how to write an envelope? Now, it's not that grown folks don't know how to write an envelope. I watched a whole YouTube series about trying to explain old technology to children and stuff. I feel sorry for these children nowadays. They don't know how to work nothing. They don't know how nothing works. And they penmanship because
If there
they
was
took
an apocalypse, they'd be lost.
exactly the penmanship they took out of the school. And I had to read these children's handwriting. Oh my god.
You got to send them to like these preparatory schools where they're teaching that stuff.
Yeah,
It's
they don't.
like, I got to have money to teach you something that they taught me for free.
Yes, and I mean she means not just regular charter schools because I'm in a charter school. She means private, exclusive, rich people.
I'm talking about, if any of y'all know DC or preparatory schools. Anybody know Georgetown Prep?
They teach
That's what I'm
penmanship.
talking about.
Yeah, they teach penmanship because I'm like these kids. Mm. Some of them look like wingdings. The others, I don't know, look like some chicken scratch. And then we had some people had some perfect handwriting. I was like, you practiced somewhere because it wasn't in this school.
When?
I
Ah,
had I had a week of all of this going like, why did they
when?
stop
Let me
teaching
tell
life
you something.
skills? Why they stop teaching life skills and penmanship? We had to get through this, and we had to scream in the third grade. Why couldn't they do it? What's so wrong with it? I don't understand. Go ahead.
Yesterday, again, I realized my age so much. Again, mind you, I'm hurting my body, but I'm talking to a young person. I realized how young this woman was because I didn't have to know her age. I figured she's an adult because she looked like an adult. She didn't look like one of the high schoolers that are around me. Because I ended up teaming up with a elementary school, I think elementary, middle school guy, little kid. Hey, he cool. He was good conversations. We worked well together. The girl, and she was telling me, so, oh my God, I gotta get this. I was like, hey, I think there's a coffee shop. Yeah, it's cold as hell. We're freezing. She goes, all right, great. And we're having a conversation. She goes, all right, good. BRB. And I was like,
Be
did she
right
just
back.
BRB? Like,
That
BRB?
that that
I know what it meant, but I was just
that
like,
that, that, that is our old internet
literally,
talk.
literally. I was just like, she goes, all right, BRB. And I'm like, did she really BRB me? You couldn't say be right back. Like literally be right back. I was like, literally these young people. It's like. Remember when people used to say LOL, LOL? Literally, child. I was sitting there going, yeah, isn't it? And I don't get half these slangs. I don't. So don't even bother. But girl, I was just like, wow.
They were
I had to
teaching me and I
realize
still
I
don't
had to
remember.
change. Girl, I had to change when people were telling me, over the phone. Yeah, so hashtag, and I had to in my brain. I got to keep reminding myself, pound sign. Okay,
Pound sign, yeah. I still say pound sign. I say no,
yes, but
that's
I
a
had to
pound
start
sign.
to immolate. It's either immolate or die. Because literally, I'm like, okay, so hashtag,
Oh no, what killed
and
me?
then this.
No, what killed me is saying hashtag is like hashtag like that. This means hashtag. I was like, you, you know what? I'm just like, this is when part of me says I'm going to stay in my lane and not try to come out of it. Y'all going to try to teach me, and it's going to roll right off my back like duck, like water off a duck's back. I was like, I'm not going to retain any of this.
I'm still sometimes I always get confused sometimes when people use uh cap no cap.
I don't know what that means again. I forgot.
Yeah, I know. There are times I'm sitting there, he's like, I cap that. And I'm like, so does this mean when you mean like capital letters of that or cap where I'm like, I put a cap in your ass? I don't know which one sometimes. Because I'll sit there going, okay, so which one does that mean? I say that with a capital cap, no cap, no cap, cap, no cap. And I'm like, I don't. So I'll
I
sit there
just
going, uh-huh.
I don't go I was like, what does that mean in English, please?
Oh, no,
I'll be
no.
like, explain me.
Mm-mm,
I don't care.
mm-mm,
Cause I will give her the.
mm-mm,
You see how my face looks just like this with my hand going like that? No. Do you think
mm-mm.
I understood that? No. And
I'm
my
like, as
boys
long as
will be
I,
like, they ask me. They're like, do you know what that means? No.
no, 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 no. It's like, did you catch what I said? Mm.
At least they're
But I
willing to
don't
tell
understand.
me.
I understood like when people say you look fit, right? All right, so you fit because fit is supposed to be short for your outfit. So when they're like, "Oh, your fit's cute," or "You look fit,"
Oh, that
out
yeah, that's clothing. I get that. That's
right.
just like
But then when I really never understood what lit, I guess that because like the people say lit because lit is supposed to be like you literally
lit is
hot,
hot. Yeah, lit is hot.
right? Lit like light or
No,
literally,
no. Lit to them is like that's hot.
right, right. But I'm trying to
Yeah.
see where they get that word from. Why they say that verbiage? Where did it come from? The
I have
origin.
no dare. Don't try to do that because you're gonna get a headache.
Well, this is the sad part. This is where my brain normally goes. It's like, where did they get that from?
Oh,
Like, what is the origin of that?
I understand exactly what you're talking about. That's why I said you're gonna get a headache with half these words because they just made it up. Somebody just said it one day and it became a thing. Like I
Yeah,
was watching a program and on Fleek, it was just some girl
yeah, yeah,
ran.
yeah, yeah.
She was just some random girl. She's like, "Oh, my eyebrows is on fleek." What does that mean? It means that they're good. They snatched. This is look at the
Yeah,
fleekness
but
of my
where'd you
eyebrow.
get that word? Why the word
It
fleek?
just popped it
What
in
what is
the.
fleek?
It just popped in her head. She was driving and she's like, "Oh, I want to do is my eyebrows are on fleek." That's it. That's all it was. It was just a random word,
And then she created it.
and she created it, and it caught on. Yeah, don't ask. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is after we've had the tangents and the talks and stuff, and our heads hurt because Sheila's still trying to figure out why, and there is no why.
Nah, I just need to go to sleep. Honestly.
Yes. Okay. So we had so much fun doing Summer Solomon, which was a blast. So we decided to keep it going, but not Song of Solomon. So we're going to do lesser known books of the Bible. All the little short ones that you've if you have read the Bible at least once, you could say, I read it. I don't remember it, but I read it. Right. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do Haggai. Or yeah, that's how you say it. So Sheila go, huh?
Whichever way you want to go with it. I mean,
Haggai, Hagar.
There are a lot of words and names that you be like, okay,
We don't speak Hebrew. Okay. So
nor
she look
Aramaic. So
or Aramaic. We don't speak the Lord's word. Sorry, we don't. We speak the English version and the
we speak
American one at
American.
that.
We speak American.
And I just was saying that the words were coming out of my mouth. I said American at that. Anyway, so Sheila's gonna pray and then we're gonna read. She was gonna read it in the message and stuff.
Chapter
It's
one.
That's chapter one. It's a really short, and when I read it in the NIV, it it's really to the point.
Slightly different in message, but yeah.
I believe that because it's always slightly different in the message. So go for it.
Sorry.
I knew something was somewhere.
Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, Heavenly Holy Spirit, Heavenly Brother, Heavenly Sister. You all know what I'm talking about. The omnipotent one, Holy Ghost, Jesus. I thank you. We thank you for this opportunity to be able to talk, to be able to really connect with people, with spirits, with those around us. Some days it's good, some days it's not so good. But we make an impression on those that we coincide with. You see, Christ, you made an impression on the world. You made an impression on people that took your message global. Global. One person made such a difference. So many people's lives that it's the strength that they live by. Your word, your message. It's immeasurable. It's immeasurable of how they thought, the care, your actions spoke volume. And it continues to do that today. Life is a gift, even if it is just for 1 second. But it is also important to know that it is a choice. Some of us who have life choose not to keep it. And that's their choice and their cross to bear. But Lord God, if we have the ability to make an impression on our own lives so that it can resonate for someone else, like a hand outstretched above the water to grab someone that's drowning. Let us be the lifeguards that rescues others as you have rescued us. I can't really swim. I know how to float. But when I feel like I'm drowning, I know you'll always be that hand out there for me. And that's all. We want to be for ourselves and for others. Because life is a gift. It's not a certainty, it's not a guarantee. We don't know when we're going to go. But when someone chooses to take their own, we hope that there is someone, something to intercede in just that split second to make a change. Because to live a life without knowing a moment of contentment, a moment of joy, a moment of happiness, it's a very sad thing indeed. We both love you, and we truly, truly want to serve in any way, shape, form we can. To our listeners, to our viewers, know that your life that you have and continue to have is precious, but it should be precious to you, not anybody else. You. Let's all say amen and thank God for just having this ability to commune together. We love him. We serve him. Let us all say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Ta-da. All right. As Gwen said, I'm going to pronounce it the way she did, I think. Haggai? Haggai? Haggai?
I was saying hey
Somebody.
guy.
See, I don't know if I say hey guy. Because it's like me walking across the street and going, hey guy.
I know, but I'm like, this is a guy, so Haggai?
For all I know, it could have been a pseudonym and it could have been girl. So I'm going to go
Oh,
Haggai.
Haggy?
Haggai.
Okay, okay.
Haggai. Because that's what it looks like to me. Haggai or Haggai. Haggai,
I,
Haggai, hey guy. Haggai, hey guy, Haggai. No, not Haggai, because there's no either. But anyway, Haggai. That's all how I always said it, but Haggai. So, or hey guy. We'll go with hey guy. She said hey guy, so we'll go with hey guy. So, hey guy, what? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? This whole interlude to get to this portion. Caught up. The title is Caught Up with Taking Care of Your Own House. Surprising we were talking about that, right?
yeah, I know.
You think we babble for nothing. What? Anyway. on on the first let me pull this up so it's to be a little close to my eyeballs since I ain't wearing my glasses.
Yeah, I was about to say
On the first day of the 6th month of the 2nd year in the reign of King Darius of Persia. I want to say, yeah, Persia. God's message was delivered by the prophet Haggai to the governor of Judea, Zerubbabel. That's how I'm saying it. Don't
that's
quote me.
you're gonna get.
Son of Shealtiel, and to the high priest Joshua, son of Jehozadak. A message from the God of the angel armies. The people procrastinate. They say this isn't the right time to rebuild my temple, the temple of God. Shortly after that, God said more, because God couldn't just say one thing. God said more. And Haggai spoke to it. How is it that it's the right time for you to live in your fine new homes while the home, God's temple, mind you, is in ruins? And then a little later, because again, God got something to say. God's angel army, mind you, God's angel prophet. God of the angel armies spoke, again, this is an angel talking, spoke out again. Take a good, hard look at your life. Think it over. You have spent a lot of money, but you haven't much to show for it. You keep filling your plates, but you're never filled up. You keep drinking and drinking and drinking, but you're always thirsty. You put on layer after layer of clothes, but you can't keep warm. Reminds me of my mother. But anyway,
I was gonna say the
and the
same thing.
people, and the people who work for you, what are they getting out of it? Not much. A leaky, rusted out bucket. That's what. That's why God of the angel armies said, because he wasn't done, take a good, hard look at your life. Think it over. Then God said, here's what I want you to do. Now, this is going to be funny. Again, remember what happened to me. Climb into the hills, because I'm about to tumble. Climb into the hills. Cut some timber. Bring it down and rebuild the temple. Do it just for me. Honor me. We've had great ambitions for yourselves, all of y'all, but nothing has come of it. The little you have brought to my temple, I've blown away because there was nothing of it. And why? 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 This is what the message from the angel. Remember, because you have run around, caught up with taking care of your own homes, my home is in ruins. That's why, because of your stinginess. And so, I have given you a dry summer and a skimpy crop. But I've matched your tight fisted stinginess by decreasing a season of drought. That's right. I'm gonna be drying up your fields, drying up your hills, withering your gardens and your orchards and your stunting vegetables and fruit. Nothing, not man or woman, not animal or crop, is going to thrive. Now, when I say God is petty,
Where do you think Petty
what?
came from?
What? What? All right. Then the governor, Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, the high priest Joshua, son of Zorazadak, and all the people with them listened. They really listened to the voice of their God. Okay. When God sent the prophet Haggai to them, they paid attention to him. In listening to Haggai, they honored God. Then Haggai, God's messenger, right, preached God's message to the people. I am with you. God's words. This is how God got Zerubbabel, Joshua, and all the people moving, got them working on the temple of God. This happened on the 24th day of the 6th month in the 2nd year of King Darius. Now, people, what we say. You gotta take care of yourself. Don't get me wrong. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. But if you have pledged, right, to do your work for God, to live for God, to do your things for God, and then you have the audacity, right, to leave God's business, God's stuff in shambles, then you go give God cotton candy. and not expect it to blow. I mean, you giving yourself Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci, Miu Miu, and then you turn around and give God Kmart. That sound right? Walmart? You giving Jesus stuff from Walmart? But you got yourself at like Carolina Herrera dress, but you went and got Jesus Target,
See,
Conway. What?
I didn't take it like that.
I did.
Yeah, that's your opinion. Let me get to mine. So, so the way I took it was like this: y'all neglected the temple. That's why all your stuff is not Prada, Chanel, or anything. It's whatever the knockoff is. That's why your life,
Your stuff was fake.
right, cause your stuff was not Mew. It was TT, with a whole hole, not Chanel but Canel, not Prada but Dada. It was stuff like that because you try to fake the phone and live your life like this. Because in the NIV version, it says like you have this great purse that is Dada when you thought it was Prada, and they got a hole in it, and all your money's going down the drain because you neglected the house of the Lord that looked like crap, and you trying to look like $1 million on a 2 cent budget. And this is how I
You
see
getting
you.
yourself all the stuff that you think you got to get for yourself, and you giving God nothing.
Right,
You giving him shambles.
exactly. And he sent Haggai down there and said, like, okay, you actually want something that is fulfilling you. Like we were talking about earlier, when we got to listen to the prophets and stuff, when they got to come and talk to us. And it's like we want to be truly fulfilled and not thirst forever and not be hungry forever.
It's like
We
going to
got to,
Stephen King dinner.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's like, no, we don't want that. We want to build up God's house. And that's why I said at the beginning of this episode, and telling Sheila, this is why we're doing this to hold us accountable. Because we're trying to build up God's house within us. Not, and
We are the
people,
temple.
yes,
We
and
are a
people,
temple.
we're not talking about a physical house and the church and everything and you some hammers and nails. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a
We are the
metaphorical
temple.
temple. Yes. So this is why I will say that whole tangent that we went on and we talked about everything leads right back to scripture. It always does. Don't you love when we do that? You think we
We
just
so
we
sneaky.
you really thought we were just rambling? Sometimes we are. Yes, that is true. But
Yeah,
this time we
but
wasn't.
sometimes we do.
But this sometimes
Sometimes
we
we
do.
do that.
Sometimes we do. But this time, no, we was on it. We was on it. We was right there with it.
I mean, because everything, like, God gives us messages. You know what I'm saying? It's like God direct. Sometimes, like, when you don't even realize that God is directing you to share something because it's a reason for it. I mean, God gives us like a thought, and
Yes.
we don't really know why we're thinking something the way we're thinking it, but it comes back to mean something. Like there was something like again from the show that one of the shows that I was talking about, the one that deals with suicide, and I said the Jade Emperor is seen as a woman. How there's an even specific part where the Jade Emperor says something to one of the Grim Reapers, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like the Grim Reaper thinks it means one thing, but it didn't really resonate until later when they had completed the mission God had said to do. Then they're like, why don't they ever the Grim Reaper goes, why don't they ever tell me everything in detail? Because God don't need you to know everything in detail because you might make not do what God wants you to do the way God wants it if you knew exactly everything you needed to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
'Cause-
like Wes said, sometimes God be making me watch stuff for a reason. So
Exactly. It's the
and that's why
reasons
we
and stuff.
share what we share. Okay. That's why God told us to start sharing these chapters and because we really did, we just took a thought, grew with it, and now
Yeah.
look where we at.
We just said we
So
was probably going in our brains. We said, oh, we do one chapter, that'd be fine, and just laugh at it. And then we say, oh, let's keep doing this. Is fun. It is how
there
this
was a
happened.
desire. This is like beautiful stuff. Like this is eye opening. It's like literally because as I said earlier, how God is petty in the sense of I always joke around and said God is always, you always get beat up by God when you don't do what God expects you to do. And that's literally a theme. It's like with your parents. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have your physical parents, but when you kind of don't take care of your parents in a certain way that makes sense for you and your parental, coupling. You know what I'm saying? Like each person deals with their parent differently, right?
Right.
But we still have to honor our parents, provided that these are parents that were actual parents. See, I don't
Yeah.
think anyone who just gives birth to you is a parent.
Oh no, 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 no.
So
So that,
those
that
who are
that's the
actual
sperm you
parents,
wrote in on.
right? So not everybody's a parent. You have people who are your incubators,
Mhm.
but they not may not be your actual parent.
Right.
So, but those who are your parents, a lot of times they give you consequences, not to hurt you, but to teach you. And that's something that's important that we also get with our spiritual parent.
Mhm.
When I say petty, I mean, there are times I look at my mother and be like, really? Really? Was that necessary? Uh, uh, my baby brother actually started bringing back what my mother used to do to us, which is you got to pay to ride her car. Um, there was that convenience. It was teaching you. You want convenience, you need to pay for it.
Oh yeah.
Because that's my time, my energy, my gas.
Mhm.
And you have to realize that's what you end up doing yourself. You're like, oh, you never cheat. Take what you have that you do and take it for granted and let somebody else walk all over you like you don't like you're not worth something. You see what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
You learn those lessons.
I am completely with you on all of this, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, it's a lot more lessons that people need to hear, and it's kind of why I got into not to be somebody's parent, but just to help with those lessons that they need to learn for me to be that vessel, to be there to help them. You know, it might not make sense to them right now because they're little kids, but down the line, somebody as a teenager or an adult, they remembered that person that helped me, that sat there and taught me, and lost at Connect Four 45,000 times because they like beating you at Connect Four. I got one kid. He just loves to beat me at Connect Four. Don't realize I'm getting all the information out of him and asking him questions and all kinds of stuff. But all he knows is he losing at Connect Four. He's winning at Connect Four. I'm like,
But
I
you're
got you.
right though, because it's those moments, like I was saying earlier about keeping things that knowing how much you mean to someone when they do things without being proper without being pushed to do something.
Right.
Um, there are certain things that I remember to this day, and my memory is not always the best, but there are certain key things that I still remember from camp, for God's sakes, or just little memories that shaped how I saw something or viewed something without realizing that it was shaping something that I would think about in the future. You know what I mean? It's like why I liked something and pursued something because of something that was taught to me without realizing it was taught to me, as a youth. And so every little moment matters. Sometimes good things, sometimes not so great things that still stick with you to this day. So that's pretty much it.
Ora momento. I'm
I
trying to
think
plug up the
Gwendolyn
computer.
fell.
No,
All
Gwendolyn is.
right, people, I think she fell. I hope she hasn't fallen
I
and
did
not
not
gotten up.
fall. Give me a second. I'm trying to plug in my computer.
So while she's doing that, uh, have you not seen Chloe? What's that woman's name that used to be on the TV shows all the time? Those infomercials. Because back in the day we used to have infomercials where it's like, what's that? Call Miss Chloe. What was her name? Cleo?
No, 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 no,
Cleo.
no.
Parliament House.
Yes, that was Cleo, and she was doing the psychic readings.
Oh my, yes. Oh my God. I used to. Because here's the thing, people. Even commercials. Do we even have them anymore? Because I don't know. I
That
really don't know because I don't have cable. So
no, okay, so Sheila, yes you do, and they're still on at 2 o'clock in the morning.
good God, really? Oh.
Yeah, they're still on.
Yeah,
I
see,
was like,
I ain't got time. I ain't got time for that. That's why I don't have cable, people. I don't do. No, I just don't. No. I literally pay Netflix whatever they want.
oh yeah. See, here's the funny thing about that. I was like, my Netflix went up. I said, and they're talking about that whole.
Oh yeah, when it went up, yeah, I was like, all right, cool, whatever.
I said the whole password sharing. I said that ain't gonna work because we all password share. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna pay it because I half my stuff. The only reason I have cable is because there's old people in my house. I was like, I'd
I've
watch
been
Netflix
trying to
all day.
teach my old person how to use how to do Chromecast.
Yeah, because I was like, what was I had to repay
He
for? I
still
had to
shows up
pay.
at my house to watch stuff.
Yeah, I had to watch. No, my Kev on Stage app. I had to redo that one because I'm like, he got some good shows coming out on there. It's like a food show and some comedy that I just love. And he was laughing at we only this much money. Netflix is so much. We ain't got Netflix money. We got this much money. I was like, yes. And he's the only one that I really will not share because he's a small businessman. He's black owned small business trying to get off on the feet.
Girl, I swear all these people got my money. Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu.
And I thank you for it too.
Well, no, and it's the funny thing is my brothers will be the first ones. My brothers and my cousins will be the first ones to come after me if I cut off the Disney Plus, ESPN, Hulu package. Um, Even though I'm not the one that watches that one the most, I
Yeah.
live on Netflix. That's where I am. So if anyone's looking for me, I'm on Netflix. The family understands Sheila's on Netflix. She don't bother us on the other stations, which is fine.
Right.
Um,
It's the
and I'm
same
okay
way.
with that.
It's the same way with the CBS. You're on the CBS app more than I am. I literally watch
Well,
one
now
program.
because now you have the shows are back. There's three shows that are on the CBS that I watch now. Is No, I finished watching because it was Discovery is done now.
Yeah, I have to finish Discovery.
Oh, you haven't? I have. I finished the Discovery. I'm now into Picard and Hilo. That's it.
Okay, I don't know about Halo. You should watch Equalizer with Queen Latifah. It's really good.
I haven't gotten into it.
No,
I
we
saw an
actually
episode once.
no, we watched it. We watched the first one. It was really good, and we were like really into it. We like this now.
I
Like, what's
don't
she
know.
gonna do now?
I'm such a sci-fi, like intergalactic type sci-fi type of person.
It's his fault because this is how this happened. This is the last tangent we have, people. The last tangent. So he likes cop shows, murder mystery. You know those ID channel. You know who did it and all that stuff. He loves all that. I got him into superheroes, science fiction, and period pieces to the point of he's looking for period pieces to watch. He is so freaking happy that Bridgerton is back. He's like, oh, because Gilded Age finished and he got mad. I said, it finished because Bridgerton is coming back. Oh, okay, good. I got my period piece. I'm
But
like,
see, the period pieces I love though, and it is sad. I like not a surprise, people. I like Chinese
oh,
because there's so many of them.
yeah, I
Uh,
know.
Chinese, but it's certain Chinese because it's certain like wushu style. And then I am a sucker for like imperial palace type Korean
Yeah.
historicals.
But also,
I still can't. I still love my damn Jewel in the Palace.
I still never watched that. I have to watch it.
Huh?
I know. There's certain ones that I said I was gonna watch and never got a chance to watch. See, cause she's trying to fake cry on me that I haven't watched that one. She's gonna flip out because I told her I never watched Boys Over Flowers.
Which
Yeah,
one
no,
though? Which
any of them,
one?
any of them.
Hmm? Girl, I'm wrong. I'm in the middle of watching the Thai version one, which by the way is pretty good this year. Because I if there's Boys Over Flowers, hell, I even tolerated the little bit version of a low budget American one where these group of people wanted to make one and they did it their own group, they did their own like seed money whatever to create one. It wasn't all that great, because they never made it their own. They tried to figure out how to copy the others, and the ones that make the best versions are the ones that take the core premise of the story and remake it in their style. And if you can't do that, then it's going to be a sucky one. So the in order for me is the Japanese version, of course, the original, not the 1995 one, but no, not the 1995 one, the 2005 one. I love that one. The 1995 one was kind of cute, but the 2005 one was the bomb.
Okay,
And then
I'm
the
gonna stop,
Cantonese
Sheila,
one,
Sheila,
oh my
Sheila,
God,
Sheila,
what?
Sheila,
What?
Sheila.
What
Come back,
happened?
come back.
Oh.
You going? You giving out years now, so come back.
Oh my God, I love dramas. I really need
I
to start looking for a
know.
job working at a production company. I really do.
Yes.
Really
Okay. So
do.
come back. So with all that said, and that the
Finance has
last
been fun, but I
tangent,
really need to go somewhere else. Okay.
you know, with the last tangent that we're doing, we want to say thank you so much for listening to us be ourselves and all this other good stuff. Hopefully you learned something and hopefully you got something out of it. So we'll see you next time. I'm Gwendolyn.
That's my Lucas.
And and that's Sheila. And we'll see
That's
you next
Thank
time. Bye.